Love, are we live? Are we rolling?
I don't know. You're the producer and the director.
We are live, love. All right. Whew. We have made it back to episode number 2 of the newly revamped Pitboss podcast, brought to you by our good friends at Molly's Place Sporting Goods. Have like 4 different ways to go here.
Okay.
And I'm not sure which way we're going to do this. I will acknowledge that we are in the open air studios once again because it's just a freaking nice day, isn't it?
It is gorgeous. The Ocean City Air Show is on today. Smoke cleared out. The fires that are happening up in Canada, kind of not as bad as some of our northern neighbors. Apparently New York was pretty bad, but anyway, cleared out. Beautiful day, blue sky.
It was pretty incredible. We could really, there's 2 days, it was definitely super strong here.
Yep.
Yes, it is a beautiful day out. And behind us, they kind of seem to calm down right now. But we're giving up the Pitboss refuge with the November to late March, early April bufflehead, but what we have now.
Jeff has accumulated some new hummingbird friends.
Yes, they really do enjoy. They enjoy sugar water.
Yeah, they do.
I guess I would too if I was doing sugar, but
sugar and water. Nah,
yeah,
a little something more.
So again, a couple different ways to go here, and I guess first off, I want to say that we are thinking of Scott Moody. Scott's a little under the weather, not feeling 100%, and we wish the best for Scott Moody, right?
Yep. Thinking about you, Scott.
We are, Scott. Thank you. If you don't know who Scott Moody is, you got to check him out. Instagram, Facebook, LabradorDesign.com is his webpage. Awesome photographer. Just puts in a lot of time and effort, especially for his wood duck shots that he gets. And if you know me, you don't know it, but you know of Scott Moody. Just because... Is that recording?
I don't know. Is it?
Yes, it is.
That wouldn't be a bad thing.
That would be a rookie mistake. So back to my thought process. Back to what I was trying to say. I get so easily off on these little tangents, and I already feel the need to.
Yeah, take a breath up. It's a
Slow
beautiful
down.
Saturday.
It is a beautiful Saturday. The Dirty Duck coffee, now the Diet Dew. I might be racing a little bit. So if you know me, you know us, you know Scott Moody indirectly, because Scott did my original webpage. Well, I did the very first webpage I did myself back on old Netscape, that kind of stuff. But Scott did my original webpage, and Scott, we have to give credit for our Scoter head right here. If you're watching on YouTube, if you don't know it, there it is, the Scoter head logo. So, yeah, Scott is he's taught me a lot. Way back in the day, 2005. He, I won't say he goaded me into getting a camera, but he's like, Jeff, you go out, you hunt every day. You're on the boat every day, and I was taking pictures with a little digital camera, but he's like, why would you not want to try to take like the best picture possible? Why would you not want to try to have like that, magazine cover photo kind of thing? I said, because Scott, I have no idea. I have no idea how to use a DSLR. And it was the old Canon 20D. And Scott said, if you buy it, I'll tell you what you need to know. So my joke is that I've always thrown the manual away just because I just ask Scott if I need help. So yes, if you know me, you know us, you know of Scott Moody indirectly. So that was really what I was trying to say. And Scott, truthfully, man, thinking of you, we are, and we hope you're feeling better. So that was what I wanted to get out of the way first off. But I'm not 100% sure. Do I want to do and I think it would be interesting because you were there, and were you interested
In?
Come on, read my mind.
I know, but the listeners can't. So
I'm leading you into saying what we went to. Were you interested?
I was interested. Yes, we had I went for a good hour. The talk at Molly's Place Sporting Goods in Kennedyville, Maryland.
Easily found in Kennedyville, Maryland.
It was a snakehead seminar. It was conducted by some of the Molly staff, David and Michael. And
Jimmy?
And then, Jimmy. They had someone come in who was actually a waterman. And, he does take some charters.
Well, the bow fishing, especially in the evenings for him. So, yeah, it's recorded. The audio's good. And you will see it, hear it sometime. Do we want to go PBHQ? That's really where I want to go.
I know you
That's
do.
Really
You've been frothing at the bit to talk about PBHQ.
PBHQ. And I want to even rewind even further and say thank you to all you who are listening. Got some really good comments and feedback already from the last week's episode. If you're just finding us, this is the newly revamped Pitboss podcast, and it's going to air every Monday morning for at least 52 weeks, right, Lo?
Yep,
now at least for 51 weeks, because we've already got one week checked off.
Yep.
If you're not already, please like, follow, subscribe, do all those kind of social media podcast type things. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
But we love feedback, too.
We do.
Want to make sure we're not off track here.
Yeah.
What
and I know on the excuse me, I'm sorry.
Oh, just to make sure, people let us know what they want to listen to.
Yeah, 100%. I know on the regular podcast formats, it's kind of hard to interact, but if you go to YouTube, you can check this out. You can listen to it. You can watch it, but you can leave comments below. So if you're watch this on YouTube right now, thank you very much. If you do not, please subscribe, like this video /podcast, and leave us comments down below. So, and one last thing. Our title sponsor is Molly's Place Sporting Goods, and I've already said easily found on Route 213 in Kennedyville, Maryland. MyMollys.com, MyMollys.com. We've got duck water boats. I am in the world's largest duck boat every day of the season, right?
Yep, it's a good-looking boat.
Yeah, you like it too, don't you?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
And so does Duke.
Yeah. Steve Hoover, all the way from New Philadelphia, Ohio. Steve, thank you very much. That right there is the official Pitboss ringtone. You can find it on iTunes. We'll just shut that down. But truly it is. You can get it on iTunes.
Yep.
Our good friends Buck and Jay at Dirty Duck Coffee. We need to get back to the stronger side of Dirty Duck.
Yeah, we're doing a Colombian, I think it's duck camp right now.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
I like it.
We need to circle back to the stronger.
You like the Drano strength.
Not Drano strength, but I definitely like to taste it. I do like to taste it. Duck Blind Bistro. Did I get that right, love?
I think so.
That's such a crazy... I guess it's just the way you say I'm not dyslexic, but I am. I am.
Gosh, we need some official educated person to totally rule you off on never saying that again.
I am in third grade. Can I?
Oh my!
Should I go down this road?
Sure, I'll get out of the way.
We had to take these tests for like a week, and you know what? I didn't really want to take the tests, so I just went through and colored in the box or whatever, and like they thought I was way down on the IQ ladder, and almost got removed from the elementary school and got placed in a
special needs.
Yes, a special needs school. Yep. For the county had one of those. Mm-hmm. And my mother to this day will tell me that that's the Scoter dog below us itching the concrete, that I owe Principal Bishop. He said there was nothing wrong with me and they wouldn't let me take me out. And then 2 years later I took the test and I was like a miraculous recovery from they had taught me so well.
No, yeah, it just showed how smart you were even then.
I do have dyslexia.
I do. Jeez.
Duck Blind Bistro. Got it right. John, Paul, and Jay. Supposedly something pretty cool coming. I think it'll be here on Monday. I can't wait to check it out. We will talk about that next time. And our very good friends at Crabs to Go, Route 589. I should say Route 50 first because that is the major highway. Route 50 and 589. Mark, John, Dan, guys, thank you very much. we almost got cold crabs last night.
Yep, they threw up a special
Yeah.
on Instagram, and oh my mouth was watering.
Yeah. And if you are into social media, please go and check everybody out on social media, especially Instagram. Molly's Place Sporting Goods, Duckwater Boats, Dirty Duck Coffee, Duck Blind Bistro, and Crabs to Go. And maybe Whaleyville, Wagon Tails.
In Whaleyville, Wagon
Wagon
Tails.
Tails. Which kind of is a little bit of a segue to PBHQ. And that's what I guess I'm really going to talk about today. We are going to talk about love.
Okay.
Is that all right?
I wouldn't say it's yours, it's ours,
Ours.
but a lot of blood, sweat, and tears has gone to this place from Jeff personally.
And you too, love. I can look down the row of those trees right there and just remember how the wisteria,
Yes, gosh.
the
and
vines that
sticker
were
bushes,
just corkscrewed up the trees, all the briars. You don't get poison ivy, thank goodness, because I do, and you were much better suited to get in there on some of that stuff. You let me drive the tractor and pull the stuff out, but we have had some real fun here.
Yeah.
Just
yep.
right from the get-go. So basically, I'm going to rewind even further. We live currently in a community called Ocean Pines. Back in the day, 1997, and it was great. Our street is like a peninsula. It's a dead-end street, a cul-de-sac. Everybody has water behind their houses, and there were empty lots. There, what is probably today, there's 50-some houses on our street, right? Pintail, I'm going to miss, that's a pretty cool name to say you live
Yeah.
on Pintail Drive,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for you.
I'm
For a duck hunter.
I'm going to miss that. Oh, I'm going to get sad for a second.
Yep. Okay.
No, I'm not.
Moving
no,
on.
I'm not. But I tell people back in the day, I had 5 black labs there and had no issues at all because there were empty lots. It was not 100%, developed to its capacity. So over the years, things have changed. I'm not going to blame COVID, but COVID definitely, I think, made people change their thought process, how they can work, as well as the 2.5 years ago, the big boom in real estate here, where I know there's 5 houses on our street that you never saw a car. And when I say that, these, I would think more on the water necessarily, that maybe not so much in the woods themselves. And there's vacation homes, second homes in the woods too. But I think, especially, in the beginning there, 97 on, it's a lot of second homes. So in the wintertime, man, it's a ghost town.
Yeah.
There was nobody there.
Yep.
That said, there were houses that you never saw, at least 5 on our street, you never saw a car. That now they sold and people live there. And I can't begrudge anybody for buying something and wanting to use it, because that's
Right.
we want to. That's what we want to do. The only thing is that it definitely has made the population density stronger.
Yeah.
On Pintail Drive and just Ocean Pines overall, and probably you could say just really our area, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. The whole area has just exploded.
Right. So Ocean Pines, I'm not going to include you in this, love, but I am the redneck of Pintail Drive. I have way too much junk. Stuff. I have way too much stuff.
Yep.
And here's, riddle me this. We live on the water. We can't have 2 boat trailers in our driveway. We can't have 2 jet ski trailers in our driveway. We can have a boat trailer and a jet ski trailer, but we can't have 2 boat trailers, 2 jet ski trailers. Lift out back, that the bad influence and/or the duck boats, world's largest duck boat, has sat on, and I am guilty of having trailers in the driveway, and not the trailer so much. Back in the day, the grass was, when it didn't get cut, it got tall. I'd be getting letters all the time. I don't think I've ever gotten a letter about the trailers, but I've had the inspector stop and say, Jeff, and holds his hands like, hey man, give me, and thankfully, 2 houses away, they allowed us to keep a trailer in there, during the off season when they were not here. So that kind of worked out well. But my point in all this is, had way too much junk, and our very good friend of ours, Greg Steen, Associate Steen Realty, excuse me. Greg lives 10 minutes away maybe, and across from his house is where his shop is. He has a big lot, and he's always been very kind to us, allowing us to keep our extra trailers there.
Yep.
Much like our good friend Fred West, where we kept old Little Blue
Our tractor.
Yeah,
Yep.
on the trailer. Fred let us keep it in his shop. But that said, I've always had an issue with trailers. Too much junk. Too much junk, period. But definitely trailers as far as the association goes. 2.2 miles away from our driveway, right behind Food Line, was Go Glass. And they left and went out on...
Yeah, Go Glass is just a business that had a warehouse 2.2 miles away from Pintail.
Which was close.
Very close.
Thank you, because everybody can't read my mind.
Yep, nope.
5,000 square feet.
That's for you, Fred. Yep, nope.
Yep, nope. 5,000 square feet, 3-year triple net lease. I was all about this. And I have to thank you.
Maybe.
No, I think so, because you said, Jeff, at the end of 3 years, what have you spent? About $100,000.
The rent was insane.
And you said, well, what do you have to show for that?
Yep, just a place full of stuff that we can't move it
100%.
to anywhere.
And you said, and after that, are you going to, once you're all moved in, are you going to move everything out?
Right.
You're like, no.
To where?
So you emphatically said you were not on board with this.
It made me sick.
I even took the duck boat over there. I was taking pictures of it, saying, look, man, look how it turns around. I'm going to be able to back in.
Yep.
Okay. Again, since everybody can't read my mind, I've always wanted a place to keep whatever duck boat I had inside, right?
Yep.
Especially hitched to the truck.
Yep.
So that's really what I was looking for, and I could have easily. It actually had 2 doors. I could have did like a 90-degree turn in there. You know, go in one door, head out the other door, kind of thing.
Yep.
Thought a place again close to the house. You know, however I could get up there. I don't know what our vehicle situation would be, but if the truck and boat were in there, you know, figure out some way, Gam's car, something, get something else to get me up there. The hunt wouldn't necessarily start from there, but I think it could definitely end from there.
Do carving.
Just basically encompass everything that I do. Back in the old days, the whole theme of the ducks, dogs, and decoys. So that said, you're like, nope, not on board. But you would be on board with what?
Why don't you just build a shop? Let's buy something and
purchase.
Yeah,
that's what you said. So all of a sudden,
we started looking.
The hunt is on.
Yep.
And sometimes I get a little fixated and a little, what would you call it?
Grandiose.
Well, I wasn't really thinking about that. I just mean like I have tunnel vision that this is what needs to be done. Obsessed. Okay, well, let's go with that. How about just passionate?
Yeah. No, he has a vision and kind of just tries to stay on track.
So our neighbor happens to be a realtor, so we're talking with Pam, and you told her what we were looking for. She and her husband will be happy when we leave. They get a new set of neighbors.
Sorry, Pam and Jeff.
On the other side, we never see them because they're never there. So no issues on that. But reached out to her, just told her what we're trying to do. And she couldn't find what we were looking for. Couldn't find what we were looking for. And then my duh moment is Greg Steen, like, duh. So I get a hold of Greg. Greg was all about the story too, man. Never lease anything. He's like, buy. Maybe lease a piece of equipment, but everything else you buy. Buy. Do not lease it. Okay. So he's like, I think I know the piece of property. That's probably loud, huh? He said, give me a couple days. I'll get back with you. Sure enough, he did. He says, Jeff, I found you 3.5 acres that you're going to be easily found from Route 50 or Route 113. And if you know the Lower Shore, those are the 2 major state highways, whether you're traveling really east and west or north and south. And our address is not on the state highway, but the longest run of our property is on State Highway 610 Whaleyville Road, or some people like to say Wallyville. But here's the beauty of it. He says there are no restrictions. It's subdivided so many years ago. There's no covenants like Ocean Pines, and anything else that you're going to find these days that is newly, recently subdivided has restrictions and covenants, just like what we're trying to get away from. He said, Jeff, you can line up 10 boats in your yard and nobody can say a thing about it. He says, He says, this is the property for you. It's zoned A1, zoned agricultural. Definitely it was overgrown. There's a story about the house that was here, and you do assure me that the shop's not haunted, right?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Occasionally, I think.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Well, anyway, the old house is gone. It was an empty lot, and he's like, "This is your lot, man. This is your lot." And I even had to. You were all about it, except not at the price point. And I had to like beg you the one morning.
Pretty much,
You
yeah.
remember that?
The price, we made an
do
offer,
it.
they turned it down. Made another offer, they turned it down. Just kept, of course, going up. Our offers kept increasing, and I was starting to, get that sick in your stomach feeling, like, oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, we had the money for the land, but who wants to part with your money? So, yeah, it was
Can't
just
take it with you, love. Can't take it with you.
Pass it along though.
And if you keep saying someday, what happens?
Yeah.
Someday never gets here unless you do it. I can vividly recall running the dogs, even little Bo was with us.
Yep.
Running the dogs over
At the high school.
and
Yep.
I was like, because we would come, it wasn't ours yet, and we would come, after that, we'd come ride by here, right?
Yep.
Just to look at it. We'd stop, and for sale sign was still here, and we'd just get out and walk around. And like I begged you, I said, just pay them what they want. I want to do this, right?
Yes. Yeah, it was pretty. It was similar to a child actually begging for
Throw a
something.
tantrum.
No tantrums.
tantrum.
It was like, can I please have the
Yes.
puppy or the kitty?
Yes, please. Can we please do this? Just pay them the money so we can buy it and get this thing rolling.
Yeah.
And we even rode around after the fact or during this process we're trying to better this lot, right?
Right. You're trying to find something in our price range that might be just as suitable.
And I would ask Greg is a realtor. I would ask Greg about this lot, that lot. I say, Jeff, they are all subdivided. And to give you an example, and this is his example to me. He said, on the subdivided lots and the covenants that they write, he says it's just a blanket, like it's, it's, I don't know how many pages it is, 20 pages, but it's just blanketed. It doesn't matter where it is. These are the covenants that we use. He says there's a stipulation in there where it says no pig or swine, hogs, whatever. They don't want to pig. You can't have a pig pen, right? And $1 million home development that they did, somebody has a pot-bellied pig as their pet, stays inside, and people were raising Cain about, says right here in the covenants they can't have a pig. So his point was that's how these covenants work. And he's like, it's just like ocean ponds. So like this, even though we looked good.
No, we did not want to get back in a similar situation.
No. And here's the sad part of it is, that's not sad. Put a little twist in it, is that, and this is how it got bigger and bigger and bigger. Because originally it was just going to be 40 by 100 shop, right? Except in Worcester County, even though it's zoned agricultural, and there's no structures on this, no buildings on the property to begin with, because there was nothing already existing here, you had to have living space, conditioned space, and whatever you built. So, okay, we're going to do a 40 by 100, right? And there's going to be an office of some sort. We'll just condition that area. We're just going to condition that area, and that will be, the living space, and that the county will sign off on. And you're like, wait, what? We can live there? Kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Because the thought process was still we were going to stay in Ocean Pines, and basically this is 8.2 miles away.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, not the 2 miles, but this is 8 miles away from the house. So we can still pull it off, kind of thing. It's a little bit more of a drive, but not that big a deal.
Yeah, during the season, you would sleep here, I would sleep over there. Like it was getting kind of weird.
Yeah, and when you said I will live there in a heartbeat, I said you will. And you're like, you were like,
yeah, I'm all about it. I've always enjoyed my space. I'm not much for I'm not a subdivision girl. You good?
no, I'm not. It's like just shut down.
Batteries?
No, it just said please power off. Yep, I think that's what I wasn't. Quick fix.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Quick fix. quick fix, love. Oh, give me a second here. There we go.
Kind of chilly.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit on the warm side.
Really? Let's move it to the sun. Go back live. Yeah.
Pressing buttons. I have no idea.
All right, now we are, love.
All right.
We are live once again.
Snafu.
Rookie mistake. Really thought the batteries were good to go. So now we have to make a mental note that the battery power is only good for about...
One show.
Actually, 2.
2?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah,
we got
yeah,
two.
yeah.
Well, all right, how
Yep.
about this? About 2 hours worth.
Okay.
2 hours worth. Not good for the third hour.
Okay.
So. Can you rewind and put me back into task?
Yeah, we were, just talking
Yes.
about
Thank you.
Pintail. I said that I was all about staying here because I'm not much into, especially with the dogs, not into the close confinements of what Ocean Pines is with the dogs. It was difficult
100%.
for them to, and they were on cables. It was just not suitable.
So you said we're going to you'd be all about living here.
Yep.
So we're still going to do a 40 by 100 building. Mm-hmm. And then we were like, what's this for money? Because we don't have the checkbook. Mm-hmm. We don't have the checkbook.
Nope.
No, we don't have the checkbook.
We don't.
We're rubbing quarters together right at the moment. Mm-hmm. Trying to make them dollar bills. So what's the smallest living space we could get away with? Mm-hmm. And I think we were at like a 30 by 30.
I think so.
That was like, so we're going to do a 40 by 100, and then the bump out is a 30 by 30. So I need to stop because everybody's not a mind reader, right? Mm-hmm. This is post-frame construction. Mm-hmm. A barn dominium, barn dough, whatever you would like to call. Mm-hmm. Barn dominium and post-frame is kind of where I guess I always... Barn dough's a little slangy, but it seems to be, social media-wise, that gets used a lot, thrown around a lot. But basically, it's post-frame construction, and it is a more affordable way, in theory, to construct something, to build something, especially if you're into that shop atmosphere, wanting to have the space.
Yep. Just open concept.
Yeah, and it is all engineered. Withstand 125 mile an hour winds, excuse me. So once it's up, like inside, you can just make walls wherever you want. You don't have to worry about any loads, beams, anything like that. So 40 by 100, and then we're at a 30 by 30, basically. Mm-hmm. We thought we could do that.
Yep.
So we started shopping many different post-frame barn dominium companies, yes?
Yes.
I like to tell the story that I was someplace that I shouldn't have been.
It's so misleading.
No, I was. I was someplace that I shouldn't have been.
Okay. Yeah, such a bad place.
I told you I was eating healthy. Mm-hmm. I was here, and I was hungry.
Yep.
I don't know if Bo was with us still.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the dogs are with me. Rode up 3.5 miles away, across the state line into Selbyville, went to McDonald's.
Somewhere he shouldn't have been.
So, the dogs love chicken nuggets. What can I say?
Yep.
So I start down 113. I'm like, I'm hungry. So I pull off into Arby's Exxon. And I didn't really notice that there's this silver truck with tinted windows. And I have to look down, and it says Pole Building Outfitters. I'm like, whoa. Well, and there's a phone number. And we had trouble with people. Some people did not return our calls.
Right.
It was odd and weird, and I guess it's just state of the state. But and again, hindsight, after the fact, Chris is sitting in the truck. Called the number, left a message, and that evening Chris calls back. We talk a little bit, and I don't know how I can say it without sounding arrogant. How can I say it?
You just need to tell the story.
Yeah, well, but this happened to me the other day with an inspector. Okay. So going on and on and on, and Chris says, "I know who you are." He's like, "I watch you cook on Instagram every night," and he says, "Matter of fact, it's about 8 years ago. I was in your boat and I duck hunted with you." So,
was that long ago? I
yeah.
thought it was more recent than that.
No, it was in with the world's largest duck boat. This will be the 5th season. Mm-hmm. So it's at least 5 years ago because it was in the old fiberglass boat.
Okay. Yeah, I did not realize that all this time. I thought it was like within the last 3-4 years.
No. This was back, and it was it was a group. I said, I'm not. He didn't book the hunt, so I'm not good with often other people that are in the boat, but the person that booked the hunt. I said, so tell me, like, give me an anecdotal story about something that happened. He's like, oh, it's gosh, from South Carolina. It's like, oh yeah, but it still wasn't the right group, and it was blowing bad that day, as he tells me. He's like, no, he said we were down on that little piece of water, and I said, was it a good hunt? He said, oh, it was awesome. He said we shot our limit. I was like, okay, cool. Because sometimes when you have to go in the skinny water, as far as not being out in the ocean, like it's maybe not as advertised. Mm-hmm. But anyway, long story short, Chris is our guy. And in the beginning, I thought it just sounded like from talking to the other people. Anyway, I didn't really think Chris was our guy, but Chris is our guy.
Yep.
So we finally get up with Chris, and we start getting 40 by 100, 30 by 30, and he's like, all right. First off, he says work in increments of 8-foot posts. 16-foot purlins, 2x4x16s that are the purlins. Some people call them the girts too. Chris just calls everything purlins and girts. Chris calls everything a purlin. Freeman calls everything purlins. So Chris says think of in terms of 8. So I was like, okay, well, like 104 then. He's like, yeah. He said maybe a little bit more concrete, but he said really we're actually gonna cut wood off to not use it. He said, let's do 8 foot. So then I was like, okay, well then 32 by 30. Yep, 32 by 32. That works out better than 30 by 30. Okay. What about the 40? He's like, well, 40 is okay because trusses. And once you get over 50 feet, the trusses really do. And I had a couple other people tell me that too, that the shop trusses start to get a little salty. But anyway, it just kind of kept. It hasn't spiraled out of control. It didn't spiral out of control, but it definitely grew, right?
It just kept on growing.
It did.
People with ideas, people with suggestions.
Yeah, so the 40 by 100 was going to be 16 foot. Well, I went to 40 by 104 with 16-foot ceilings. And then our very good friend Chicky Saljawani was down with his family, looking at the property, and I wanted to do in the 32 by 32. I wanted scissor truss to make this just one big giant room,
open.
Yep.
Yeah,
maybe have a loft. We just have one big room. He came in. He's like, no, don't do that. He said if you want, he said 9-foot ceilings. He says if you got if you got a checkbook, do 10 foot. But he says do attic trusses, and now you just gain a room upstairs. And he said go even a steeper pitch upstairs, and you've got yourself even more. So, and I guess I'm jumping ahead a little bit because now we were up to like a 40 by 40, not the 30 or not the 40,
32.
Yeah, went up to 40 by 40. With attic trusses. So each time I'm getting back on the phone with Chris and, hey man, change this please, change that please, and he sends us the new look of it. And we get to the point where now we wanted to maximize the 40 foot with two 14-foot garage doors, and it ended up being we were just going to have one man door, ended up having 3 man doors. Right, with the 14 by 14s. So the width of it went to 52 feet to make it all work. So that just to make it all work. And I was like, Chris, I thought you said over 40 feet they get expensive. He says they do. But we did anyway. So the 40 went to 52 feet by 104. the 40 by 40 went to 50 by 40. And Chris's reasoning there was, well, when you expanded that, the truss, you're going to give yourself more room upstairs if for storage upstairs.
Yep.
But if you do the math, which I'm not good at because I'm dyslexic, 10-foot ceilings down below. We actually have 9-foot ceilings in the storage upstairs. The shop, to make a normal door to get under the header in the shop ceiling went from 16 feet to 18 feet. So it just kept growing.
Yep.
Kept growing.
Cha-ching.
Yeah. Cha-ching, cha-ching. One good thing in all this, wood prices did cut back down. Metal and concrete never really came back down from COVID, but wood kind of got a little bit better. I did not know it's a commodity that's traded, lumber.
Yeah, I think we figured that out, or you found it out at some point.
Chris told me. He says he checks it every Monday. He says it's when it goes up. Would you call it wholesale? No, not wholesale. Whenever the commodity goes up, he said retail, man, the price just mirrors it instantly. He said, but that price comes down in the commodity. He's like, it's
retail,
very, very slow to come down in the retail.
Yeah, but thankfully it did, because it totally would have been out of reach.
100%. So that's pretty much the long and short of what PBHQ is. And PBHQ, Pitboss World Headquarters. And it has got me a little bit of heat, should we say?
Yeah, it was just, for those that don't know Jeff, particularly those in official county positions,
who evidently follow along social media.
Yeah, just, it was, what is this? Like, it was some confusion.
Well, we had people stop by, maybe not daily now, but we did, they would be like, what is this?
Yep.
I said, this is my home. They're like, this is your home. Yes, this is my home. My wife and mine. I said, I'm a big old redneck. Like, what do you, like what? What? And then people kind of still do that. I said it last week to you. It hasn't happened to me recently because, I don't know, maybe I'm just more comfortable with it, but coming up Peerless Road in the mornings, when you were still employed, occasionally I...
What do you mean, still employed?
When you weren't...
I'm employed now.
You're retired, though.
I'm not. Don't say that. Makes me feel old.
Well, I'm older than you. I'm 10 years older than you. I'm proud of that fact, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Enjoy.
Huh?
Enjoy.
I'm not really 10, though.
No.
7.
Yep.
Okay. 7. I'll use that. That'll still be a good number. Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just more comfortable with it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I definitely like it.
The age? Are we talking about? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about my age. We're talking about PBHQ.
Oh, I lost track. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No,
you definitely like it. You bloody well better like it.
Yeah. I think that I could be happier.
Yeah, he keeps saying that. It drives me crazy because happy or not, this is it.
This is our reality.
Yep. No, the dogs are happy. I love it. He loves it. The boat's inside. He has his carving shop. He has his painting area. We have everything we could possibly need.
Just trying to adjust to it. We need to finalize some more stuff. Stuff.
Yep.
Need to finalize some more stuff.
Yep.
And then I always refer to my mom as Gam just because the grandkids always called her Gammy Gam, and we need to get Gam here, and then that'll kind of be. I guess it'll never be finished, will it?
Nope.
No, so this will never be finished.
Nope. Looking at unfinished fence.
Yeah, I'm looking at myself too.
Yeah. Jeff keeps saying, I just didn't realize it would be this physical.
I truly, I don't know why you asked me that, but or why you say why would I say that? Because in the beginning, now it's a joke, right? In the beginning, I really did kind of think that. I was like, man, I just didn't think it was going to be this physical. We'd come over here just to like. That's a loud one. We'll let him pass. Well, we just come over to, basically try to make the place look good, whip it back into shape. Had all kinds of little saplings that were growing. So, like, it was just forever, just trying to mow it as low as we could just to kind of tame it, whip it into shape a little bit. And, like, I'd go home, and especially in the summertime when it's freaking hot as can be here, and go home and be like, wow, man, like, I didn't think. We bought a New Holland tractor, like, it's got to be easy. Like, it's not, is it?
No.
Like it is very physical. Does that sound lame? Did I say that?
No, not at all. I mean, all what people have to know too is that, I can only, I'm not as strong as you are, so a lot of the stuff I've had to do has been heavy, like physically hard. You need some strength to do some of the things that we've had to do around here. So, Jeff has had to, do a lot of physical work, putting on these big fence posts and, digging and, just hanging stuff and,
it is very physical.
Yes.
Yes, very
I could
physical.
Go on and on.
One of my best moments, because I've never experienced this before. It took me a long, it's the first time it's ever happened to me. So all these years, I can remember waking up at about 2 a.m. And, like, I just felt like I kind of had the feeling like I kind of had to go to the bathroom. Like, man, if I just go sit down, this feeling, it'll pass, or I'll feel better, or whatever. And I couldn't. It wasn't a intestinal issue, so we say. And, like, it just didn't get any better. It was in my lower back, and it just didn't get it. Well, no, kind of lower back, lower side of the back, and it just wasn't really getting any better. And I can remember you waking up at 4 a.m. and like I immediately, like, I'm thinking, this is like my appendix. Like, what's going on? This is. And I never get sick. Do I?
No, never.
I can't. I couldn't. I guess the last time I was in the hospital was 1996. I broke my leg. I got plate and screws in my lower leg. That was probably the last time that I was, been to the hospital a lot, seeing people, but not having to
Not
go,
for
right?
you. Yeah.
And I said, Karen, you kind of stirred and woke up. It's 4 a.m. I was like, I got to go to the hospital. I got to. There's something wrong. Like I was like, I'll call an ambulance. She's like, no, like, let's go. So I'll drive you. So, and by that, we're leaving the house. Like, I started to feel like nauseous. Like I'm going to throw up. I think like this is not good. I walked into the hospital. I don't know if I had accepted it, but, like, I'm going to get cut on. I am going to get opened up because something needs to come out of me. I don't know what it is, but there's a serious problem.
The evil inside.
Yeah, you were flying up Route 50 to get me there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was freaking me out.
Well, because I was freaking out.
Yeah, because what am I going to do without you? I was freaking out.
So we get in there, and, like, thankfully it was not busy at all. I can't remember what day of the week it was. I want to say
Me neither.
I want to say a Thursday.
Okay.
To step aside of that for a second, this was when Goody Hill was delivering 10-wheeler loads of their finest bank run fill. And I had scheduled 8 trucks to show up that morning. But now I'm walking in the hospital, and, like, literally right before they got me back, like, I did throw up. Like, I went and grabbed some newspapers because, like, there was nothing for me to throw up in. So I just grabbed some newspapers and,
TMI.
just to try to be, I was trying to be clean. Trying to be clean, not make a mess. So what did they get? Dilaudid? What is it?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, woo. As soon as it was cold. It was cold, like, going through me. But, like, as soon, like, it just this peace came over me of, like, there is no pain. I was like, oh, thank you. Anyway, long story short, evidently, I don't believe that I did, but I had a kidney stone, supposedly.
He did.
This is 4 a.m. We arrive in the hospital. I made it here with my arm big gauzed up still, but I made it here by 7:30, and I hopped in the skid steer and kept on going. So
how many liters of fluid did they have to give you in hospital?
I can't remember.
I don't know. It was like maybe 4 liters or something crazy.
Well, I can tell you this, because of
was so dehydrated.
Because of Noom, and we weighed ourselves each morning.
Yeah.
I gained in a day in a days from one morning to the next, I gained 10 pounds.
Yeah.
That's how dehydrated it
was. So hot. He was working hard here, trying to get the foundation level.
Not knowing what I'm doing, but doing it anyway.
And and just not drinking enough, obviously, because it just all caught up with him.
And I thought it was. And I had a cooler. I had a cooler each morning. I was doing, I thought I was hydrated enough. And it was in August. I mean, it was hot as could be here.
Hot.
Yeah, it was hot. I mean, I was soaking wet.
Yep.
So I guess, yeah, I got sidetracked in there. But yes, I did. I did make it here that morning, and I'm very proud of that fact.
Yeah, he should be proud, but also thought he was a little crazy too.
Yeah. I'm totally down a road that I have no idea how I've gotten here. Pitboss World Headquarters, PBHQ. That was August. In September, had permit issues.
Yes.
Had permit issues. And had permit issues. But it got straightened out.
Yep, thanks to Chris.
Yeah. Chris actually dug the holes without having a permit.
Right.
He said he had enough. But you're shaking your head, love. Like everybody can see you.
Yeah, well,
I shouldn't say that.
Well,
he had his ducks in a row because he went to the county and said, "If I would do this without a permit, what are you going to require of us?" And kind of wink, wink. Somebody says, "Did you have it inspected? Mm-hmm. Dig your holes and get them inspected." Anyway, that day by noon, he actually did have the permit, so we were good to go. But he had enough of them. He's like, we're doing this one way or the other. But super. It's been a super fun project. It's a project that's still, it's not. It's maybe it'll never be complete.
Nope.
But late September, the post went in the ground. I flipped through my phone and still find some pictures like just so cool watching it go. Mm-hmm. I can remember like, man, the sky was just low humidity. The sky is so blue. The post, it's my favorite time of the year anyway. Late September into October.
But we knew we were going to Canada in October. We were freaking out that it was just getting pushed back, and whether or not we should go to Canada because the building was about to start.
Well, and I've kind of dismissed. I don't think about it anymore that I did not get to see the concrete poured. I did get to see the outside poured, but I didn't get to. I wanted to see the inside of the concrete get poured. Chris assured me. He said, "Go, Jeff." I said, "Is it irresponsible of me? Because I'm an irresponsible person. Is it irresponsible for me to say, hey, Chris, we're trying to build this. This is our future, but we're going to go to Canada on vacation." Mm-hmm. He's like, "Will you have phone service?" Mm-hmm. Yes. He said, "Then go and have fun, man." He's like, well, "What? We know what we're doing." He said, "And if there's a problem, I'll call you and ask you a question." Mm-hmm. So that was, I said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yep." He said, "Go and have fun. You don't need to worry about it." And we had first week of duck season. As soon as that was done, we beat feet. We had windows. It was framed up. Windows were up, and they did not put the metal up because it was easier to pour. There's so much concrete in here. It was easier to pour through the walls. No walls with metal. Mm-hmm. And we got up there. He sent me pictures. Fred Westwood sent me some videos, and the cameras on the property, we could see them. Like all of a sudden, like there's wrap on there. Karen, look, there's wrap. Wrap on the post,
crazy.
And then metal, and it went together very quickly, very fast, and it was we did go to Canada.
Yeah.
In amongst all that, it was the first thing when we came home. I don't know how late it was that night, but what did we do? Oh my gosh!
And we drove how many hours?
17 hours.
17 hours, and it was pushing midnight, I think.
It was late.
Late. And it was obviously pitch black, but Jeff, we had to drive past here kind of to get back to Ocean Pines, and wanted to come here. And I really wanted the wow factor to see it in the daylight, but we came here anyway.
But it was wow, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But I still would have I should have just shut my eyes and come back the next morning.
Well, there were no garage doors. There was no doors. We had windows. We had no doors. And it was just cool I remember leaves being inside, blowing around in the concrete because there were no doors, and took a little while for the doors, garage doors. But it's been a cool project. It's been a fun project, and
fun, really? Can we bottle that?
Yeah, it's fun with an asterisk. It's been entertaining.
Yeah, no,
It's been stressful.
Good. It's just building our future. That's what I see.
This is, so I'll use the word arrogant again. I think pretty much I can do anything, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to get up on this roof or anything like that. Right. That's 32 feet up in the air. At peak, I guess if I had to, I could, but I don't want to go do that.
I wouldn't let you.
But as far as building stuff, and I kind of thought I had a handle on this, and man, I have learned a tremendous amount in this process. Chris has held as I like to tell everybody, Chris Wilhelm, Pole Building Outfitters, has held my hand. I won't say yours, but he's definitely held my hand through this of just, Jeff, you need to do this, you need to do that. Yep. Chris was more than capable of doing this turnkey. It's just we didn't have the checkbook to say do it.
Yep.
So a lot of this stuff we've tried to not to be cheap, but just try to make our dollars go as far as we can.
Yep, and you've done a best job that you could have possibly done.
100%. So we are reaping the enjoyment. What are we?
The rewards of all the
rewards. That's what we are.
Reaping the rewards of all of your effort and
your efforts too, love. Seriously, I couldn't have did it without you. Seriously, come on.
No, this was all you. I worked my 50 hours a week.
You don't get poison ivy, and I do.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, you don't. So I mean, there's when I cut the grass, it is, if I weed eated, whacked, especially the real thick stuff way back in the day, I get poison ivy here now anyway. Yeah. Right?
Yep. No, it's kind of thick, but yeah, and my headspace was, all about my job. So, when we did come here, weekend warrior kind of stuff, I was just, what are we doing? What do you need me to do? I just kind of took direction from Jeff. I had my eyes kind of focused on getting the tree line sorted because that was
your project.
Yeah, it was a mess, but kind of proud of it now. Still, I would take down more trees. Jeff won't let me cut down anything else, but
I still look at that one like it's got leaves coming out, but what is it?
Yeah,
June 10th or whatever today is. It's just, and there's two of them in there. If you look down it.
Yep.
I don't know. But this is our future. This is our home, Pitboss World Headquarters. I'd like to refer to it PBHQ, the farm, and
Whaleyville Wagentails.
Whaleyville Wagentails, as well as Pitboss Waterfowl. Do we throw out an open invitation for anybody to stop by if they're halfway close to our zip code? I always tell it friends that are anywhere. It's like, hey man, if you're ever in our zip code, make sure you text, tell us, talk, make sure you stop by, say hello.
Yeah, reach out to Jeff, let us know.
100%. So I want to circle back and say we will have guests on the newly revamped Pitboss podcast.
Yep, you have got a couple lined up, I think.
We do. So if you're following along with us, it's not going to be Karen listening to Jeff talk.
I love to listen to you talk.
So we are going to have guests. We do have some very interesting guests. I could be wrong, and sometimes when I look at things just the way that I like to look at them, maybe it's not the way everybody looks at stuff. But I mean, it should be entertaining. I listen to podcasts quite honestly if I would be driving and or if I'm painting decoys, because I like to have, when I say noise, I don't mean I am listening, but I like to have noise.
Yeah,
I would rather listen to a podcast than music.
Okay.
I don't listen. I mean, I do feel like that, I think. Okay.
Yeah. Well, the same. I listen to my books.
That's what I was just going to say. What do you like to do?
Yeah, I listen to my murder mystery audio books.
100%. Love, what, real quick, because we might be up against the time limit, as I look at Black Dogs at my feet, what is this? What is our Scoter update? I never said her official name last time, and I was disappointed in myself.
Okay, well, you announce. What is it?
No, you. I like when you say it.
So we wanted to kind of stick with the same theme of rye, Pitboss Salty Black Rye. And, we're just kind of throwing out names, of what the new puppy's name could be. And it kind of, seems obvious right now, but, Jeff's logo, what Jeff does, his, what he takes people out to hunt out in the Atlantic Ocean. the Skoda.
Yep.
So there you go. Pitboss Salty Black Skoda.
And she is a nice little dog, I'm telling you what.
She is.
You had to pick up a camper this morning, so you didn't go with me, but got her to the vet. She's right just under 40 pounds at 20 weeks old. Got her shot. She's laying in the sun right now, just chilling.
Good.
And doing some obedience with her. Trying to, retrieving. She will run a country mile, I bet you, because we have stretched her out. It's a little, as she's gotten older, it's been more of the, shall we say, at the line type issues coming back where she doesn't really want to come back necessarily.
She wants you to chase her.
Yeah,
she wants to create a game out of it.
We've kind of with very little pressure, we've taken care of that.
Yes. No, she's responded really quick.
Yeah. She got her twofers are coming in nice, right?
Yes. She's got a little rabbit.
Yep. And just to my left, the other black dog, we got her. I started to do back to the pile, and if you're not into dogs, back to the pile would be one of the first steps you would do to running a blind retrieve, where you set the dog down, say dead bird, say back, you blow a whistle, stop them, cast them, all that type of stuff. So I did it off and on, and now I'm committed and dedicated. So you will have, she's going to be a nice master hunter. But you said you just want to run her in senior, but AKC.
Yeah, I mean, whatever she's capable of, as long as she's enjoying it, that's what I always say. As long as she seems to enjoy it, I'm happy for her to keep going.
Which she does.
Oh, she loves it.
And she actually does run, at least for junior hunter, to me, she ran better for you than me.
Yeah, she my girl.
Yeah, she is your girl. All right, love. What else? Anything on your list of things?
I am not as organized as you, so do we have, I see we got the Delta Waterfowl, the latest magazine. I saw there's a couple of dates of some events coming up.
Yeah, so basically the only thing I still have down for the rest of June, June 4th was the Molly's Snakehead Fishing Seminar. June 25th, there's their fishing basics seminar. If anybody has an event they would like to be heard to the thousands of listeners.
Hopefully we'll have thousands of
hundreds of listeners. Actually, it was, again, I do want to reiterate in the beginning, I said this, but it was really nice that people reached out and said, hey man, we just checked it out, listened to it, glad that you're doing it again. Keep it up. They liked your involvement with it, Karen. So appreciate that. So yeah, if you have an event, you'd like us to say anything about it, please let us know. In July coming up, 28, 29, 30, which we were just talking about, love, in Little Rock, Arkansas, is the Delta Waterfowl Expo. That same weekend, 28 and 29, in St. Peters, Missouri, is the Dive Bomb Squad Fest. Oh, I got out of order. Earlier in July, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, is in Birmingham, Alabama, is the World Deer Expo, and our good friends Schmitty's Beard Sauce will be there. And yeah, I've really messed up. In July, back at Molly's on the 16th is the Rock Fishing on Chesapeake Bay Fishing Seminar, and on the 30th is Fishing Basics. So,
and what's the event we're doing? With Delta, we're going to go see the decoy.
That will be in, I have it written down here, August 5th.
Okay.
Conjahila Flats Decoy.
Yep, we'll be going.
Decoy contest in Columbia, Pennsylvania. You said I can't enter anything because Nick, Cedar Gunning Decoys Nick is going to enter, and I can't enter.
I didn't say you can't enter, but that would be, I don't know, let Nick shine.
Well, Matt has you're saying that I'm a better carver than him by saying that, love.
You said
let him shine.
Master.
I'm the master.
And then if the student outdoes the master, how's it going to make you feel?
That's what I did with George Williams. The day I won Best of Show, and I've told this story before. George Williams, Camden, Delaware, just below Dover, Delaware. We're at the Havre de Grace Decoy Festival. And it took me a long time to get there. Not to get to Havre de Grace, but to get to this point where I actually have a bird that could be chosen Best of Show. And there's 3 birds left. And this is the way it works. I happen to have 2 of the 3 out there, and George has 1. And I was like, I see exactly how this is going to work. Here is my chance, maybe my only chance to ever get best of show. And George is going to win, and I'm going to get second and third. I just knew that's the way it was going to shake out. I got first, George got second, and I got third. And we got our pictures taken together, and he reached down and took a pebble in his hand, and he says, "Grasshopper, snatch this from my hand." He says, "I can teach you no more." So I am very happy for Nick.
Yeah, no, he's making some nice birds.
He won best of show at the or not best of show in the Waterfowl Championship in Ocean City. He got first place at Scoters.
Okay.
So he did not really he had best out of all the Scoter, out of the Sea Ducks.
Yeah.
Not Sea Ducks, because there were other Sea Ducks there. He got best out of Scoter. But 2-3 weeks after that, he did win the gunning pairs in Havre de Grace. He got best of show at the Havre de Grace Decoy Show, and George Williams was there also. So I think Nick appreciates George. I appreciate George. So yes, that'll be the 5th of August. And we'll be there, and I would like to try to come up with different types of podcasts, much like the fishing seminar. We're going to see how that goes. I don't know if it's something that doesn't go over very well. We will not do that. But I would like to try to. I would like to try to do that. So, but yeah. Anything else, love?
No, I think that's a wrap for this one.
That is a wrap for episode number 2 of the newly revamped Pitboss podcast, brought to you by our good friends at Molly's Place Sporting Goods, easily found on Route 213 in Kennedyville,
How
Maryland.
easy?
Easily found.
A radio voice.
And if you don't know, the reason I always goof around with that is I do Molly's radio spots. WXCY in Havre de Grace. I still don't know the Dover, Delaware station that they're on, and then iHeartRadio. So
You said that last time, so we need to find out what.
I do. That's why I'm saying I still don't know. If anybody can tell me, please.
I can't use my phone.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll figure it out. I will know it next time. I will. So Molly's Place Sporting Goods, easily found on Route 230, Kennedyville, Maryland. Duck Water Boats. Steve Hoover in New Philadelphia, Ohio, the world's largest duck boat. Steve, I love my boat. Right, love?
When are we going to meet Steve? When am I? Is it at Easton, maybe?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Steve,
Okay.
are you coming to Easton? I'm asking you, Steve. Are you coming to Easton?
I look forward to meeting you one day.
When we say Easton, that is on my list, but what is Easton?
Eastern Waterfowl Festival.
Yes. It's kind of slang where I just say
Kind of
Easton.
big.
It is very big.
It's a big event. So, yeah, lots of waterfowl, obviously, related stuff. The duck calling competition.
World Goose Calling Contest, World Live Duck Calling Contest. Let's say Molly's again. They put up their pop-up shop in the Sportsman's Pavilion. It's just a great weekend.
Yep, they had Dock Dogs kind of going on there, which is, it's fun. It is fun to watch.
Food, drink, and all that. Steve, are you coming to the Easton Waterfowl Festival?
Yep, and if you're planning on traveling to see it from a ways away, book accommodation now.
100%. Good segue, love. The Easton Waterfowl Festival. I'm starting to speed up again. I'm going to slow down.
Okay.
Good segue into the next sponsor, because I know that Buck, I'm not sure about Jay, but Buck will be at Easton with Dirty Duck Coffee.
Nice.
Look forward to seeing them there. I think he is going to hop in the world's... Oh, my goodness. I wasn't sure what was going on there. The little hellion has awoken. I don't think... I do know that Buck's jumping in the world's largest duck boat following that.
Nice.
Next couple days. Duck Blind Bistro. I got that down now. It's ingrained in my dyslexic head.
Jeez.
John, Paul, and Jay, thank you very much. And again, we got something coming this week that I
didn't know if I could say that or not, but
Yeah,
I'm kind of excited. Well, we got our good friend Fred West gave us a big combine rim. Is that what it's called?
It is.
Rim?
It is.
Yeah. And just needed a little metal work done to it, some little, what is it called? Cutting?
Yep, laser.
Engraving.
Yeah, so we're starting out with a 48 inch, as I drink more Mountain Dew, 48-inch, quarter-inch steel that they're going to cut a big donut out, basically, and weld that to the top of the rim. Do you know what the backstory is on this rim? The best part of it is
Or how it burnt down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you told it last
A $750,000 brand new John Deere combine that had 11 hours on it. It's still got the yellow paint sort of on the rim.
Yeah.
And Fred says that he and Freddie just watched it burn to the ground. So it was not their fault. I don't know what the original issue was, but I know the transmission eventually caught on fire. So, but yes, what?
Yeah, so we're getting a local business called Mumford's. Is it Mumford Sheet Metal?
Well, that's the division of Mumford,
Okay.
Mumford Supply.
Yeah, so there's a fellow there that's, Jeff sent him his logo, so he's going to do some fancy cutting work with it, and we're going to have this really nice fire ring that's going to have a grate on top that is going to work very well, from what I understand, with our duck blind bistro. Cooker.
Yes.
And we're going to get fancy with it. I can't wait.
I have to say Fred West's name again because Mumford's did from Maggie's Pub. I don't think it's not North Rustico. I'm not sure where Maggie's Pub is. I'm going to say North Rustico, PEI, Prince Edward Island. But anyway, Paulie's Maggie's. Paulie had a nice sign on the outside when Fred was up there, and he's like, "Hey, man, that's a pretty cool idea." So basically, Mumford's cut out Fred West Farms Canada Goose sign that Fred has outside his shop. So that's why.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Fred turned us on to there. So, and lastly but not least, and each episode I want to try to mix them up so that everybody gets a different order. So the first isn't always first, and last. Well, Molly's is always going to be first, but the person that's last will not always be last. And today that happens to be Crabs to Go. Mark, John, Dan, Crabs to Go on Route 50 and Routes 589. We did not get the cold crabs yesterday, but
it's gonna happen.
I think this week I need some seafood of some sort.
Yeah.
I'm really I could go oyster also.
Oh, stop. I could always do oyster.
And I saw a sign today as I went by of I haven't had a good soft shell in forever.
Yep, Harborside used to have the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a good job. But
yeah. You want to tell everybody real quick as we refer to blue claw crabs, what a soft shell is? Want me to do it?
Yeah, you're the...
You eat the whole crab. Basically, crabs grow by sloughing their
shells.
Sloughing their shells, molting. That's a good word. They molt their hard shell, they back out of it, and for a very short period of time, they are 100% soft. Their intestines are clean because they haven't eaten anything, and you can literally eat the entire crab. So
yep. Very tasty.
Yeah, so soft shell crabs. I could go for one of those, but... All right, I appreciate you following along, love. Any last words?
No,
All
it
right.
was good to go over it and relive some of the memories.
Yes,
it
is.
Build.
All good memories. Take time to remember things. Take lots of pictures, take lots of video.
Yep.
Do today what you want to do in the future, because if you keep saying one day never gets here. So that would be my, not that I'm full of wiseness, but I definitely, your mom preaches us to that. She calls us kids, though.
Yeah.
You are her kid, so
a kid to her.
Doesn't make sense. But lastly, if you are not, please follow us, like, subscribe, download, comment, all that kind of stuff.
Suggest questions.
If you're watching on YouTube and you don't like the podcast, give us a thumbs down. If you do like it, thumbs up, please. And on YouTube, if you're not subscribing, please do so. Right?
Please.
All right. As always, thinking of you we are.